Okay, so thank you everyone for coming on time for this important Zoom on our collective proposal for Senegal, requested by Catherine. So we have Catherine on this call, Sarah on this call as well, Moore and Abdoulaye, the son of the mayor of Senegal. So again, this is regarding Senegal. So we thank obviously, Catherine originally for instigating this connectivity. We thank you, sir, and your father for sending us the information regarding the Senegal. And as you see, I prepared a deck, 10-page deck, which outlines the various activities which I believe our collective can do for Senegal regarding education, the sports, even the possible twin city with Newark through our collective partner, Realcom. So we'll go down the agenda. So the main agenda is more have informed us that the properties in the commercial and sports complex are 100% in the mayor's legal tender. And obviously, that will give us a lot of leverage in terms of, for example, Sarah's Apex to do construction work with zeolite concrete, but also, you know, with Britcell app, which is for international real estate selling. So before I dive into that more, since you're the party that connected us, I'll let you have a few comments before we go down the documentation aspect. So more, anything you want to say, sir? Thank you. You're
And
on mute.
yeah, no, hello everybody.
Hi, Moore.
So yeah, hi Kat, hi Sarah, hi Abdullah.
Hi, Moore.
No, so far everything fine. I just wanted to make sure that before we know exactly what we want from the mayor, do we have to have a memorandum of understanding? Because now since he had authority 100% for whatever we want, we just need to know what we want from him. If that's a legal document or whatever, we can just, since Abdullah is here, maybe if we have to draft with him, we will translate to that and they will do
Okay,
it
that's actually
on.
a good statement, actually. Now, I can draft up a simple MOU for us. Now,
Okay.
do you want the MOU to have all five of us, you know, sign as individual, or would you prefer to have like two parties? So, for example, our collective will sign on behalf of our collective. So that'll protect you more, Catherine and Sarah. And then the other party will obviously be the party representing Senegal. That'll be Abdullah, your father. And so, how would you like it to be done more individually within one document or between just two, organization which we go under the umbrella? What do you want more?
I think that I don't know how you think. I would like myself more the collective, our collective, and Sarah,
All right.
Catherine.
So
Yeah.
what I'll do is I'll create an agreement
Uh-huh.
with our collective, and I'll name the actual individuals that will be in charge for this project specific. So in the MOU, I'll say our collective handling it, and the entities within our collective that are responsible for the Senegal project will be Sal
Uh-huh.
Moore, Catherine, and Sarah. So that'll obviously protect all your interests, by naming you. And then the other party will have to sign. So Abdullah, will we sign this with your father, mayor's office, or which entity in Senegal should we make this out to? Which organization or?
Yeah, I think since this is gonna be between the collective and the and I think actually it's better for the mayor and his office to sign the agreement, and I can get them to just sign that MOU.
All right. So I'll prepare the MOU. What I need is the name, the full name of your father, which actually I still don't know. So I need the full name, his full title, and obviously the representation of the organization, whether it's the village that he's mayor of or some other entity. So his name, and also I need to put onto the thing his contact information as well, which needs to go on the lead. So I'll draft
Right.
up the MOU on behalf of our collective, and I will sign on behalf of our collective, but the MOU would specifically state that the collective also represent the interests of Sarah, Moore, and Catherine, and I'm just signing on behalf of this umbrella organization, our collective. And Abdullah, you will send me the name, contact information that you want in this agreement, and I will put that in. I will then forward this contract. Well, it's not really a contract; it's a memorandum of understanding to all parties here, so they can all review it. It'll be simple, so it's not going to be like a 300-page, small print. It'll be a 2-page, very, very simple to begin with, which what I prefer. And then if that party is good, then I will sign on behalf of our collective, and your father will sign on behalf of the Senegal organization. Is that acceptable to all parties? Sarah, is that acceptable to you?
It's really interesting question that you're bringing up right now, because it's exactly the thing that Brickcell is going to solve once we get it, because what the thing is who's ever on record on title is who the MOU should be directed toward and to. I mean, the mayor as well, probably just because of the position that he is. But once we get Brickcell up and running, it's like all we have to do is like look at that property to see who technically owns it. And then that's what's going to make all the time go so much faster, because we don't have to run around trees chasing cats for the information of who's the exact place, that person.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, as far as the idea goes, and I would like to, while we have more and everybody on the call, I if you could just go over briefly orally what the MOU is going to say, so I can have a better idea of like what exactly my goal is with the arena, because I still want to make sure I understand.
The MOU will be very general. Like I say, it's only a 2-pager. So the first thing, you'll set out the goals, okay? So the goal will be very general. So the general terms will be, our collective will work with the mayor of whatever Senegal organization to do various projects that we will participate in. Now, those projects will be many, like I said to you, and that's why I went general, because we don't know at this stage, right? It could be the Brickset real estate property sale or not. It could be the establishment of a soccer union, exchange sports union between Senegal Sport and New Jersey Sport or not. It could be us investing in operations in there for a school project with a daycare center or not. It could be a training program with a daycare center or not. So that's the point, right? Right now we don't know, right? And I could go on and on and on and on and listing.
Got it. No. Yeah, no, I hear that.
Listing all this because it's all it could be or not. So
well,
that's why
the
MOU.
Yeah.
The MOU will be very general, saying that
I'm not worried about the MOU, though. It's not that I'm worried at all.
You just asked me to describe the MOU, so I'm describing it to you.
I know. Thank you. I'm only curious about the objectives, like in a perfect, like, okay, but when you described it to me, I kind of understand, but
yeah, let me answer your question. Okay, so the objective is there's at least 5 or 6 major project that could happen or not. Okay, so the objective of the MOU is saying that this is an understand. This is not a contract. This is not an agreement. Okay, so this is not even legally binding. It's just an understanding. That's why it's called understanding. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't meaning. I wasn't meaning the question.
Well, let me finish the question.
Okay.
Let me finish the question. Okay. So the understanding is that our collective, which is on one side of the party, represented by Moore for his tailoring, by Sarah for his concrete, whatever, by Catherine for her fashion show, by me. So that's what I'm saying. Under this umbrella, there are various projects and missions that our collective will discuss with the mayor's office, okay, moving forward. So that's why I say it's general, because like I said to you, we do not know which one or whether it's all of them or none of them will happen. So it's just a general outline.
Thank
It
you.
also protects, let me finish. It also has an NDNCA, okay, which everyone wants, okay? So that's a non-disclosure, non-compete, okay? So that means, you know, we make connections to you. We don't want you stealing our connection. And likewise, we will not steal any of your connections, okay? So that is probably the most important aspect, because obviously, as you know, Sarah, that's something that you've been stating loud and clear. So that is the most critical aspect, is that there will be an NDNCA clause in the MOU to protect all our network, all our connectivity, okay? But because it's a two-pager, it will just generally state that we will discuss moving forward as an understanding on various projects, okay? What those projects are will be outlined. And it also, in the MOU, it will state clearly that this is not a joint venture partnership, okay? This is not, I repeat, a legally binding joint venture partnership, because like I say, we've not outlined anything yet, okay? We just given that I presented a general draft. So there's no commitment at this early stage. So this is like an exploratory stage that gives us some protection and allows us to discuss. Now, moving forward,
that wasn't my question though. It wasn't you, and thank you for answering that, but I've been trying to tell you that wasn't really my question. My question wasn't to have you define what an MOU is, because I know
you asked me,
I know, but can I just finish?
You specifically asked me what is in the MOU. So I'm answering what the MOU.
I know. Can I just finish? Can I finish my question, please? Can I finish my question? My question isn't necessarily on the MOU. It's more of like, while we have the mayor's son, I was interested to hear, I know that there's many different ideas that we can do. I'm more interested in what their objectives are for what they would like us to do. And I just wanted, that's my only question. I understand what an MOU is about, and now we do it. I'm interested in, from these guys, what are their ideas of what we can do? Because like, as I'm working, I would like to know first from them what their ideas are, so that way I can like work with that information. That's my question. Thank you.
All right. Well, Catherine asked you a question, more, and Abdullah. So answer those questions.
I can answer. So thank you, Sarah, for your question. And I think it's important to, at the beginning, to understand where we're heading, right? So we had some first meeting with, I think Sarah wasn't there, but he was on the phone with my dad and everyone here, right? And it was more about how we can develop something to help people in Senegal, in Yen Jala. And we talked about the fashion thing. Spoke about how we can help in the sports center, how we can use the cultural center that is already being built right now. And also we talked about the health, how we can help in the health system, right? And then I think you comes in with, I think you have a company in the concrete and real estate, right? So that actually need to be included, and we need to discuss, because since now, actually, I don't understand exactly what would be and what you expect from us. Like when it comes to the concrete and that real estate company, the brick cell, I think, if I'm say it right. So we need also to understand how that actually, what will be, what role will play those two companies, the brick cell and then the concrete company. Will it be, because we spoke about the sports center, and this collective is working on how we can help it, maybe putting the turf there, constructing some stuff in that sports center. How your company can come in place and help, and what would be the condition that I think we need to discuss and have a better understanding of it before we can move on that. Yeah, that's what I wanted to add on that. I don't know if more want to say or you want to respond to whatever I said.
No, thank you. Yeah, I think that it's going to be helpful for me, and maybe is it you that is kind of working with whatever the plan is and the people, because I know that we have Moore and Kat as well, but on the Senegal soccer side, as far as the plan goes, I would like to work with somebody from Senegal to help develop those plans, because I'm going to be a big part of it. So I need to make sure that I'm not that we're working together well. So that's my only, thank you for explaining that. I would like the opportunity to finish explaining on the real estate stuff, but I'll let us get there in the order with Dr. Ying. But yeah, that's something that I'm going to need, is just like a liaison with me, with Senegal, besides Dr. Ying and Kat and somebody and more. Like, I'm going to need at least one or two people so we can develop this plan together. So we can put that as a note in there, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me, I think that in whatever we do, there is two sides. I mean, at the first meeting, we're talking about how to help the mayor, through him, the community of Yen and Tuwab Jalao, and that's humanitarian. If like we want to do something business-wise, that's another thing. How like we're gonna do it on business. I think that's two things not that we can have to put really clear without mixing them, because that's the two things. Either we just do to help the people over there, like when I was talking about a tailoring shop, that's to help the ladies over there, how to teach them how to sew, how to do this, and for the sisterhood too, that's the same. But like if by Sarah company, we want to just talk about real estate, that's something we need to discuss, how to put it in order to make money, in order for that company to grow, make money and help those one make money. That's two different things. I don't know how we're going to, and that we can just do both in the big umbrella of our collective and see how to do it. But that's two different things. Because when you work to help people, that's just helping them humanitarian. When it's a business, that's a business.
Yeah, there's definitely both sides of it. I just I would like to understand which people I'm working with from Senegal on this project to help collaborate with it. Because as I just finished with this Ethiopia hospital, I realized that I need to have at one or at maybe two people from Senegal to work on with it, because I know Kat and Leong and you guys are really busy doing your thing. So I want to have some liaisons on the ground.
You need boots on the ground
to work with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no offense, but that's what the MOU, we just talked 10 minutes and we just gone round in circles, okay? So that's what the MOU I stated was, right? We have two entities. So if everyone listened, that's what it's supposed to do, right? It's supposed to identify the two parties, right? So rather than 8, 9 people talking, we have two organizations. And I said to make it easier, we have one organization which we just, for now, just lump it together in our class. I don't care. Like I said to you, it can be Ceres, Apex. I really don't care, right? So one party is the US party, call it whatever you want, okay? And the other party, as I said to Abdullah, the Senegal needs to identify that, right? So that's what the MOU is, to flush out who we need to talk to. Okay, and now we've just gone around full circle.
I'm sorry. I disagree. I disagree, because there's the person that's going to sign on it, Dr. Ying. Respectfully, there's a person that's going to be signing on it. And what I'm interested in while we're on the phone, because I wasn't at the meeting, so I'm just like letting you guys know what my needs are. And I don't want to have the contract in my name. It would be in Clystar. But
I told you, I'll sign it. You can't go around saying, I said I was going to sign it.
I know.
Then you're like, so fine. I will sign it on behalf of our collective.
It's not the signature that I'm worried about.
Sign it, and that other party will identify who we need to work with. So again, you just you just spent 15 minutes basically saying what we're trying to do. So as I said to you,
Okay.
Abdullah will speak to his father, and they will identify who that other entity will be, right? We just said that 15 minutes ago. So once we know that, we will know whether we talk to the mayor directly, which is not likely because his English is not very good. So we either talk to his son, who's on this call right now, or we talk to another thing, right? And I said that, well, 20 minutes ago. So let's draft up an MOU, okay? If you don't want to sign it, that's no problem. I'll sign it, or Morgan sign, Catherine, on behalf of our global organization.
I have
And
no
then
problem with
Abdullah,
signing it. I'm just saying there's two different people, Dr. Ying. We're not understanding what each other are saying, okay? There's two different
no,
people.
no,
There's the
yes,
person that's going to sign it, and then there's the person that's actually going to be like working with me on it. All I'm doing is
and they will identify that.
okay.
That's right. So the mayor of Senegal or whoever will sign it, and then he will designate whoever to work with that, right? That could be his son who's on this call right now. Okay. So that's what I'm saying, right? We don't know yet, right? He speaks to the mayor. He needs to find out who's going to sign it and who's the responsible party that we'll discuss with, right? And we just wasted 15, 20 minutes saying the same thing.
I think that the chapter Sarah is talking, is the chapter after. I mean, after we just have created the MOU, after we're going to discuss what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. That's the chapter after.
And guess what? When we sign the MOU, we know who to talk to, right? So is it the mayor? Is it his son? Is it his wife? Is it the dog? I don't know, right? So the MOU identified, right? I mean, 20 minutes, right? Right? I mean, that's how it's done, right? I mean, you brought it up more, and I agree with you. Let's sign an MOU so we know who the other party, who has the legal ability to discuss with, okay? All right, so I don't know why we just wasted 20 minutes. We're saying the same thing. We need to know who the party is in Senegal that we need to talk to, all right? And and that's what I said to, if you look at the recording, that's exactly what I said. Abdullah, you need to speak to your father, and your party, your Senegal end, need to identify who the party responsible for going through this project with our collective, all right? The signature will give us some protection with the NCA clauses and all that stuff. And then once that's signed, then your party from Senegal will identify the people. I assume one of those people, Abdullah, will be you, because your English is good. You're the son of the mayor who supposedly, you told us, has the legal deeds to these properties. So you're probably one entity that we'll be talking through in Senegal. And if they want to identify other parties for us to discuss, then fine, there's not a problem, right? From our end, obviously, we'll be talking through myself, through Sarah, through Catherine, and whoever else we deem is appropriate for a specific project, right? So we just basically spent 25 minutes saying the same thing.
Yeah, Catherine?
We're it's fine. It's fine. I'm sorry. We're on the wrong page. It's okay. I hear you. We're fine with signing it. Doctor, I'm sorry. Let's just move on to the next thing, please.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next thing. I will prepare the MOU. In the MOU, as I said to you, I will identify our collective as being the responsible entity for this Senegal project will be Sarah, Moore, Catherine, and myself. I will sign it on behalf of our collective, okay? We need you, Abdullah, to speak to your father, the mayor, to identify who the Senegal party is that will sign this agreement. I need all the contact information so I can put it in the MOU, okay? Once that is signed, then your party, Abdullah, will identify who the party, the liaison people is. Hopefully one of them will be you, because obviously your English is good and you already know us, etc. Okay, but your party at that end will identify. Now, the next step of the agenda is that we needed some sort of legal recognition that your father or whoever party owns these various properties that we potentially will be working through with our various projects, whether that's the brick sale, whether that's the soccer team thing, whether that's the training education platform, okay? That is something that we need some sort of either deed, some sort of represent contract that your father, whoever has, that show that you have legal, power of attorney over those properties. Okay, as I mentioned in the past, I've literally worked for people in the past for 3 months, putting together all this stuff, and then after 3 months, they told me, "Oh no, we don't have the legal rights here. You have to speak to this agency." And I get so frustrated. Like, you just wasted 3 months of my life. Why didn't you tell me at the beginning? Okay, so that's something that, like I said, once we sign the MOU, everyone is sort of protected. Then Abdullah, you and your father, whoever has the deeds, the legal power of attorney over these properties, needs to send her. And as Sarah said, those are important documentation that's needed for her brick sale, because those will be entered into the system, and that will ultimately, and I agree with it, that ultimately will give the transparency, all that process, okay? But we need to get to our phase first, okay? All right, Abdullah, that sound clear?
Yes, that sounds clear. Yeah, I just need to know actually how we gonna use like the collective, how, what specific use are we gonna have on those
Okay, all right.
properties?
Let me first answer this, and then maybe Sarah can do, because most likely the project will incorporate two of Sarah's main entities that she's working with. Obviously, one will be her Z-Lite concrete, and the other one will be Brickcell. Okay, so I'm just using those for example right now. Okay, whether those are things, so because those are what I identify. So let's just see. Step one, we sign the MU and we coordinate the delays on people. Step two, you and your father releases the necessary documentation that proves that you own or you have legal power of attorney to these properties, okay? Then moving forward, for example, if Sarah then thinks this is a good fit for Brickcell, okay, then she will say, listen, we want to put these properties that you have in Senegal into the Brickcell system, so we can use that platform either to help sell the properties, help lease out the properties, or bring potential investors in using the thing. Brickcell is mainly a selling platform, but it is a very powerful platform. So that is one aspect of where we, through our collective and specifically through Brickcell. Now, when that happens, there will be a formal contract that will not be with our collective. So if that happens, then most likely there will be a formal contract agreement that will be signed between the Senegal parties and Sarah's Brickcell entity, okay, that she represents, not through our collective. Then there'll be an agreement, okay? And similarly, if there are construction infrastructure projects, like for example, we talked about putting a children daycare center in there, okay? If you have existing properties that already can put that, then great. If you don't, then again, Sarah's Z-Lite Concrete may decide, no, listen, we would like to build a children daycare center, but in the contract, again, the contract will be between Senegal and Sarah's entity. Then the material, especially on the concrete, will use the Z-Lite concrete. So again, that will be, so that's just to give you two. Now I know Sarah's got his hand up. Sarah, you want to jump in?
Yeah, thank you. And forgive me because I haven't been able to be present at many of these meetings. So I don't feel that the education, like Dr. Ying, I think that you're not even understanding yet exactly what I'm doing with Brickcell, because I want to make sure what the goal is with this software, because we're not going to be using the Brickcell app, you guys. My goal is we're putting this software into the ClyStar system, because within our education, we're going to be having the ability to buy and sell real estate on a website. And so it's not going to be Brickcell. I do not want anybody like going to Brickcell, because that app as it is extremely dangerous. I have literally taken down apps like this because it's predatory for people to do. Okay. So the thing is we're working to create a real estate system to get Senegal doing real estate more like France is, and to get Kenya doing real estate more like Rwanda is. And right now I'm going to be starting in Ethiopia, and I know that this meeting is about other things, but like that's why I want to have a conversation, because the MOU is something, the conversations that we're going to have on this is something. But I feel like before we do the MOU, I mean, there's a lot of the things that we're going to be doing. Okay. There's a lot of the things that we can have options to do within the parameters. So Dr. Ying is correct. There's like a big list of things that we can do. But what is kind of triggering to me is the fact that like some of the things that we're able to do, they're just being said in a different way than what they actually are. And so that's what I'm just trying to like I'm just trying to clarify. And with regards to the zeolite, um, the one thing that I know I'd like to do with the zeolite, and I'm just sending this here now, is mostly Cat's Wall, the Gruen's Wall. Um, the the zeolite transportation to get it to Senegal, I've been working on this for a long time. I've had a zeolite contract for a long time, and I know that Dr. Ying also works with minerals and construction and stuff like that. I do not want to confuse anybody. I am not going to try to do a construction project on your site, okay? So that being said, that is not what I do. However, what I do is I work with people to build proposals, and I can help work with funding sources to fund the proposals. And I'm working with the UN SDG Academy, and they're assigning me grant writers and mentorship. And my vision for working with the Senegal event space is to do the SDG club as well, and then to do it around the sewing industry and then the soccer industry, because I think that we can kind of like mix those two things in. One of the things that I want to do is I want to sell soccer balls that aren't the FIFA. We're having the ones from Pakistan put out there, and I'm already working with other countries on this as well. But with regards to the sewing school and the SDG Academy, I'm really going to want to figure out how to do some fabric soccer balls and put those out there too. And that's going to be one of the things. So also,
Yeah.
with bricks, and then the last thing, I've had a great conversation with Mama Lou in Senegal regarding what we're doing with Brixel and that app. And so I use that name because that's the existing company name that the software is going to be housed. Once we get done moving this over to ClyStar, I don't want to even say that name anymore because I don't want people using it. It's just a software that's going to help do a process in ClyStar's system.
All right.
Okay, thank you for letting me go through that.
I just want to thank you for clarifying that. But that's why I said to you, the MOU would be very general. In fact, I'm not going to identify any specific project or use any specific name for the simple reason I don't want us to be locked into anything specific. So it's just a general said that we are here as an understanding that there'll be two organizations that will discuss potential project. What they are is just be so. That's why I know I totally agree with you, Sarah. I'm not going to identify any specific name, like we're going to use Brixel. No, absolutely not. That's not what the intention. But I said to you, it could. It's just going to be very general. So it's to identify the talking party, which you identified, Sarah. It takes two to tango. So right now we're trying to find out who those two are to tango. Yeah. So on one side, there'll be our collective, which will be you, Sarah, Moore, Catherine, and myself. Now we need to find out who the Senegal is going to bring on the dance floor for us. And that's what the MOU is there. And the MOU is to identify those parties, but not only that, but to give us at least some protection. Because I say you have a NDNCA clause as well, non-disclosure, non-compete clause as well. So it gives us a little bit of protection. So thank you for that clarification, Sarah. But moving forward, for us to move forward, as I mentioned to you, when we discuss these specific projects, I want to, like I said, I don't want to go down 3 months down the road where we're discussing and we put more work and effort into it. And then I find out 3 months later that no, sorry, the mayor don't actually have rights to this land or rights to this party. And I'm like, and then I'm going to be really, really, pardon my English, as ladies here, really, really pissed off, right? That's happened to me in the past before, right? So I'd rather know now, because they say, I mean, that you have 100% legal rights to the land, so property, but I want to see that, okay? I want to make sure I see that, because then that will give us the incentive to know that we put together these ideas where we put an education, a daycare center, and that we're putting it with the person or the organization that actually owns the land, actually owns the building. Okay, so that is the thing. So it'll be like more say, it'll be a general MOU. It will not specifically state any specific projects or companies. No, I don't want that, other than our collective. That's just an umbrella organization, and it'll name, Sarah, Mo, and Catherine and myself as the for now the collective. So we need you, Abdullah, to identify your thing. Okay, then moving that, we need legal documentation to prove that the mayor has the power of attorney or the deeds that own these lands and these properties that we in principle can put our various projects on. Okay, that's really the conversation for today. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Catherine?
We have those documents, Abdullah?
Again?
Do you have those documents, Abdullah?
Oh, yeah, I can provide those documents.
Okay.
Yeah, that won't be a problem.
All right.
The way so is really the MOU will put the two entity. Right now, if like with Sarah, we want to do a project, that's how we're going to discuss. And now, under the umbrella of the collective, discuss it. That's like XYZ with like community of Yen. And from there, that would be a contract. That won't be a MOU. That would be a contract.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the contract, once we identify the project, then the contract will be signed. So if the project is handled through Sarah's organization, then Sarah ultimately will. So it could be the contract ultimately could be between Senegal and Sarah's Apex organization, or it could through my Clystar organization, or it could be Moore's organization. So once we narrow down specific project, or through Catherine, obviously fashion entity that she's developing, etc. So once we identify that, then there will be a full contract. And in the contract will be identify all the budgets, everything, and then who's in charge and responsible, who's going to do the financing, and who's going to basically collect the proceeds and all that stuff. But that's way down the road. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, so thank you. So Catherine, since you are the one who put this original thing, any closing comment, Catherine, that you want to say?
I have a clearer understanding now of the road forward. So I just wanted to make sure that Abdullah, that, like last weekend we were talking, Dr. Young, about we need documentation. So if that can be provided, because that's almost like the proof that we're able to work in this field and work in this market. So that's what we need.
Yeah,
so thank you for that.
I mean,
really wanted to make
we
sure.
all have good hearts here, right?
Yes.
But in business, good hearts don't typically, like I said to you, I have so many projects. I've wasted 3 months down the road with my good heart, putting my time, effort, and money into it. And then I find out that the other party has just been just talking and no substance. And that regrettably is very sad. And I want to make sure that we avoid that pitfall. So thank you again. Sarah, any last comment before we close out?
Yeah, like the way that my funding works, it's not like a contract between what I do, just to so I can educate you guys on how the desk works for the humanitarian desk. Like I'll be working with somebody, whoever we figure out who the person is that I can talk to and develop the program. And I'll be working with those people in Senegal, and we'll be developing the pitch deck with each other, with us, our group too. But then when we get it submitted, we don't have a contract, because this humanitarian money that is gifted, they don't like make contracts with us and say they're going to gift money on certain terms. That's just not how it works. So I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
I understand. but I'm just saying, there could, like example, the sister partnership that I plan on setting up with the mayor's office, would there be a contract? Absolutely, absolutely, right? So there are other things that we're working on that potentially are commercial or government related. Will those people want contract? Absolutely. So again, if the project, and that's why I use the word projects and mission. So the mission that your humanitarian, whether UN or your humanitarian grants funds, no, I understand that's a grant, okay? But for projects that are specific, that are commercial or political, then absolutely, there will be contract. But that's down the road. I said to you, those are, it could happen, it might not happen. We will only God in time will tell, okay? So more, you're the connector between us, US and Senegal. So I'll leave the final word to you before we close out. More, anything you want to say, sir?
I'm very happy about this meeting. I know that
right.
we already defined that would be two-part. That would be the community of Yen by the mayor and our collective. In our collective together, whatever one, if that's like a full humanitarian, we need guideline. I mean, okay, we're going to for you, but the guideline is, if that's like a business strictly, that would be a contract. But whatever will be defined as time goes on.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you again, everyone.
That's amazing.
Drive safely, Sarah. Much love and peace to you all, and the Clydesdale blessing. All right. Take care. I'll send you this recording and the MOU in about 30 minutes. Okay. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.